Sri Lanka's most powerful news brand.
Attorney General Jayantha Jayasuriya noted that the AG's department will begin filing charges after thoroughly examining the evidence in the Bond Commission report. When inquired by Newsfirst, the Attorney General noted that if former Central Bank Governor Arjuna Mahendran has been involved in a criminal activity, action could be taken against him under Sri Lankan laws, even if he is a foreign national.
In an interview with Ceylon Today, the Attorney General has noted that existing laws in Sri Lanka are sufficient to arrest former Central Bank Governor Arjuna Mahendran. When News First inquired into this regard, Attorney General Jayantha Jayasuriya noted that charges cannot be filed in relation to the bond scam based solely on the report of the Presidential Commission. He noted that the department has begun reviewing the verbal and written evidence recorded by the Bond Commission. Meanwhile, Presidential Secretary Austin Fernando noted that the report of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry to investigate and inquire into serious acts of fraud and corruption, or PRESIFAC, has implicated a number of former ministers and other politicians. The Presidential Secretary points out that the commission headed by the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Preeti Padman Surasena, had handed over their report to the President on 2 separate occasions. When inquired, the Presidential Secretary noted that the relevant reports have been forwarded to the Attorney General's Department and the Bribery Commission in order to initiate legal action.
The following views were expressed at a media briefing organised by the Sri Lanka Human Rights Centre today.
The Commission has clearly calculated and submitted monies that should be recovered and the punishments that should be imposed. In a situation like this, when the individual who was recommended and appointed by the Prime Minister for his warrant is not in the country, when a course of action against him has been recommended, when the report says that he must be punished, when it is calculated and given clear numbers on how much should be recovered from this individual, instead of speaking a word about this or saying anything about taking action against them by empowering the courts, instead of mentioning any of this, the Prime Minister has sought to show the country that the funds can be recovered from the money which the central bank is frozen, belonging to perpetual treasuries. We feel that this is a very wrong statement on the part of the Prime Minister. The losses that have been identified only relate to several specific instances. In our view, that is very unfortunate that in such a backdrop, they are only speaking of a sum of money which has been retained by the central bank. This report states that a loss of 8 billion has been caused to several public institutions. The report states that 2 times that losses must be recovered. This alone amounts to 16 billion which the report says must be recovered. There are several steps which the President must take at this time. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka, which was removed from the Finance Ministry, must be taken under the President with immediate effect or be restored under the Finance Ministry. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, who currently functions as the Minister in charge of this section, must step aside from ministerial duties.
Ranil Wickremesinghe Mahata, me අමාත්‍යංශයේ කටයුතු වලින් බැහැර විය යුතුයි.
මේ බඳුන්කර සිද්ධියට අදාළ
There is to be a debate in Parliament on the bond issue on the 23rd of this month. We can see clearly that the political parties are preparing to dance the same jig that they did in Parliament last week. The other factor is about 9,000 pages of the bond report which was submitted to the President have not been submitted to Parliament. The total bond report comprises of 3 volumes. The first volume was the report, the second the appendix, and the third was the record of evidence. The complete report is close to 10,500 pages long. What has been released is only 1,200 pages. This states clearly how Malik Samaravikrama, Kabir Hashim and Ranil Wickremesinghe were involved in this. For this purpose to proceed, the Prime Minister must definitely resign, or at the very least, the Treasury must be removed from his purview.
මේ ක්‍රියාවලිය අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අග්‍රාමාත්‍යවරයා ඉල්ලා සිටිය යුතුයි. එසේ නොවේ නම් අවම වශයෙන් මහා භාණ්ඩාගාරය උගේ බාරයෙන් ඉවත් කරන්න ඕනේ.